Hi guys. Welcome to the info session about the camp counselor program. My name is Bart, and I'm in charge of the recruitment in Central Europe. So if you are based in Hungary, Czech, Slovakia, Poland, or any surrendering countries, you can sign up for the program with my team, with us. So I wanted to take this moment to welcome uh, Carmen and Tracey, who are on the other sides of the globe at the moment. They are in Austin, Texas, and on the East Coast. Tracey, where are you?
I'm in New York.
In New York, yeah. So Tracey and Carmen will be taking over the presentation and telling you a little bit more about the Camp Counselor program. So, Carmen,
Okay,
go
hi.
first.
Thank you everybody for coming, and whether you're watching this live or you're watching the recording, we all work for Alliance Abroad. We are the organization that will be your sponsor if you participate in the camp program. Tracey and I run the camp program, and we will be the ones who are helping to place you and interviewing you. But what we'd like to do first is give you some more information about the camp program, and then we'll answer all of your questions. So we'll go back and forth, and we'll show you a little bit of presentation, and we've got some pictures and video, and we hope you like what you see. So just bear with me for just a second. I am going to bring up my screen and present. How's that looking? Does that look okay so far? Are we good? Thumbs up?
Good. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the camp info session. All of the pictures that you'll see, most of them are of participants that have been with us on our program. We will give you as much insight into the program without trying to overwhelm you, but just trying to give you a good dose of reality about what you're signing up for. It's an amazing program. Both Tracey and I are products of camp. And we'll show you some personal photos as well as the ones from our participants. So you'll see here, this is an actual camp in the photo. This is in New Jersey. This is Camp Vacamus. This is the one that I grew up going to. These guys are on a hike. You can see these are teenagers. And this is Victoria. She's one of our participants from Spain, and she had an amazing summer there. So without further ado, we're going to go through our screen. So here are some personal photos from Tracey and I. We are both parents. We have our kids. We both have 3 kids, actually. And most of our kids go to camp. So every summer, this is a very traditional thing in the United States for parents to allow their kids to participate in a fun summer. And they can go for just day camp or overnight camp. And there are thousands of camps in the United States. And we're just sharing some personal photos here. This is part of my family here. Maddie, who's in the middle, she was getting on that big bus and they were driving to the camp. So that's a very fun part of the camp program, is they arrive by bus in the bus loads, hundreds of kids. And it's an amazing sight to see. Up here, we've got Sophia right here, hiding back here. She's on a hike with her bunk. That's what we call it. There's lots of camp lingo that you'll learn too. Maddie's right here in the middle. This is her group. Each camp is unique. Each one is different in its own way. And you can see here, like they've got like a uniform and things are a little bit more structured and traditional. Whereas in this photo, they're out hiking and having fun. Here's Sophia and Etta. These are both 2 of Tracey's girls. And was this an arrival day? Maybe? No, just hanging?
I think it was like free activity in the afternoon at lineup.
Yeah, so they got to see each other. Both of these camps were sleepaway camps. And then here's Maddie with one of her counselors. We were just getting cute with sharing our photos. But we just wanted to tell you that both of us not only went to camp, but stayed working there as we were young adults. So we were at your age at one point. We were these counselors who were taking the kids and doing all the things. And now we're parents who have our kids that go to camp. So we are very familiar with the programs. We are very familiar with your responsibilities. So we haven't done anything that you'll be doing or will have done all of the things. So we completely understand. So camp is about having fun, unplugging. You're not going to be on your phone. You're not going to be on your computer. You are going to be in nature, in the woods, having lots of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it is so much fun. You are just going to be around kids all day, and you won't have time to be on your phone. Your phone will be in an office or in a staff lounge where it's safe. And then when you have your time off, you can, of course, relax, catch up with your friends, contact your family, watch movies. But while you're at camp, your focus is working with children, having a safe, fun, keeping everybody healthy. That's your responsibility. You get to be a big kid, but you also have to be an adult and make sure everybody's okay. Tracey, do you want to take on this one? We can go back and forth.
These pictures are mostly containing some of the participants that we've had come through our sponsor program. Carmen's much more familiar with who they are, which is funny that you passed this particular slide off to me. Daniel is from Spain. He's here at Camp Longhorn, on the upper right-hand side of your screen. I don't recognize everybody yet, Carmen.
Oh yeah, no, we've got like, this is Twin Creeks. This is a good combination of people. So Daniel's from Venezuela. Wow, I've just lost his name as I'm saying. Oh, Nicholas is from Argentina. Rebecca and Anna are from Spain, and then Dahlia was from Uzbekistan. So I just wanted to show a photo of all of the mix of people. Like, you'll meet people from all over the world at your camp. Of course, there'll be lots of people from the United States, but you never know who you're going to meet. And camp is all about teamwork, helping each other out, being your support network. We've got so many amazing opportunities and camps for you to work at, but the people and the friends that you meet, the friendships that you make, the memories that you have, they will last you a lifetime. So
I was 20 when I first started working at camp, and I'm going to be real. I'm 42 now. And 22 years later, I still talk to almost everyone that I met and trained with and was a co-counselor and friend with back then. And I have friends, and I can go to Dubai and stay with a friend, and I can go to England and stay with a friend. And you really make connections all over the world.
Yes, it's a beautiful part of the program. Okay, so we're showing you some photos so that you can kind of see what you're getting into. We've got multiple opportunities. Some of them you will be able to stay with a host family if you're, let's say, a coach, a soccer coach or football. Some opportunities you may have to sleep in a tent outside sometimes. Most of our opportunities will be in a sleepaway camp where you'll be sleeping in a cabin in the woods. And these are a lot of what the beds look like. This is not going to be a fancy like hotel vacation, right? You're at work, you're in a summer camp in the middle of the woods and nature, and you're not in a hotel where there's air conditioning. This is about, I guess you could say, kind of like a camping experience within a building. It's like glamping, but more camping. Everybody stays together. This is communal living. Let's talk about the types of camps that we have. So up here, this photo, you'll see this is a camp that's called a special needs camp. So there are children and adults who participate in this camp. Everybody needs a special experience. And it is a beautiful, so rewarding to help people and children who may have mental disabilities, physical disabilities, and they are looking for people who are genuinely big-hearted, kind people that just want to have a smaller experience where you don't have 10 kids to look after. You may have like maybe 1 or 2, and you're, just enjoying your time with them. Some of them have more special needs where they are more physically disabled, and some will just have maybe just an emotional impairment. But the point is, everyone is allowed to be a camper. Everyone is allowed and entitled to have a special experience. And if you have the heart and the care for wanting to participate in that program, we have some amazing special needs camps. We also have day camps. Kids running. There will always be kids running wherever you are around the camp. You will be surrounded by hundreds of children. You have to love kids to do this. If you've never worked with kids before and you have the desire to, or you're training to, that's great. But having experience is really important because it can be overwhelming. So with a day camp, the parents drop the kids off, or they are picked up by bus, and they are there for 7 or 8 hours, and then they go home. In a sleepaway camp, and we put a picture of like kind of a living situation, you've got a group of girls or boys, and they stay for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3, or the whole summer. Each camp is a little bit different, and they will have a set amount of time. Once the first week or the first session is over, then here come the next set of kids. So you have the opportunity to meet so many children and enrich their lives with this cultural experience. This is an opportunity for them to meet someone from a different country and learn from them. Up here, I've got, you can see, is this soccer? Is it football? Which one is it, Bart? Soccer or football? I never remember. Is it football?
Here in Europe, it's soccer. No, it's football. I'm sorry. In the
football.
US, it's
Okay.
soccer. Yeah, I'm like spending too much time in the United States. Yeah.
Okay, so it's football. So we have a program with Challenger Sports, and they are looking for experienced football coaches who love football. Even if you've never coached, but you've been on a team and you've been playing since you were a kid, chances are you have such a great love for it that you could coach. So we are looking for football coaches who can play some games, who can do skills and drills. And obviously you can see there's a range of ages here. There's some really little kids, and then there's some older kids. And this is Jason, and it was from Colombia. And so he's one of our football coaches. And he got to travel through a lot of the United States doing weekly coaching camps. And it's an amazing opportunity. In this program, you will stay with a host family, which is another very special cultural experience. And you wouldn't be staying in a cabin at a camp. Let's see if this will actually work. Nope, it won't. Let's see if I can get to this video because it is such a cool. Of course, it's not playing the way I was supposed to. We didn't do this last time, Bart. Do we have sound?
Yes, we do have sound. Yeah.
So this is Camp Twin Creeks.
Camp Twin Creeks is a co-ed residential summer camp in the Allegheny Mountains of West Virginia. We offer 4 two-week sessions, wide variety of activities. Our primary focus is on children developing socially, getting to know other people, disconnecting from technology, having a great time, growing up here and making this their summer home.
We've been here from building it up to where it is now. We've seen new buildings be built. We've seen facilities change. We've seen kids grow up here. We started off as head counselors and now are directors.
We're up at altitude. The weather is phenomenal. We don't have hot, humid days. We have crisp mornings and crisp evenings.
I think we run camp like parents. whether it's the campers we're dealing with or the counselors that we're dealing with, our staff, we look at them and love them like their own kids. And I think that shines through with just our community here and what we're trying to build.
2 weeks gives them a 4 or 5 day period of settling in, and a second week to really enjoy it.
The first week, you're getting to know your cabin, you're getting to know your counselors, and you're just really getting into the hang of things. And then the second week, it's more like, okay, now here's what we're doing.
We aim to get a full traditional 8-week summer camp program into 2 weeks.
13 days every day is really packed with activities, and they're rotating through everything, so they get to go to all of our main activities.
It's just getting an appreciation for a lot of different things.
Even though we always have fun activities to do, you just feel like you're never stressed, you never feel rushed. It's just everything's like perfectly paced just so you feel relaxed, but you never feel bored.
I never did candle making before until I came here. In fact, I've never tried eggs before.
I've done the aqua zip once. That was really fun. I actually didn't really think I was going to like it. Didn't really want to do it when my friends convinced me to do it, and I loved it. Yeah, that was kind of the same with the zip line. It's like I'm kind of afraid of heights, but this campus helped me get over that with rock climbing wall, vertical playground, all of those activities. And it's just been really fun.
Well, there's archery. I don't think I could ever do archery at home. And it's really difficult and really challenging. And then there's tubing, where we drive to a different lake. It's super fun.
Horseback riding is a very popular activity. Many campers come and are attracted by the horses being here.
One trail ride is we go down to one of our twin creeks and we get to go in the creek with the horses, and the kids think that's so cool that they're able to ride a horse in the water.
Masterclass is a great program option. Changes every summer based on the skills of our staff. There might be yoga, chess, cooking.
I've done a lot of different master classes. This year I'm doing Into the Wild, where we've explored the creeks. And I've done cooking master class where we make snacks. They're all really fun.
Ian and Amy, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them and their guidance and their leadership, their genuine love for camp, their want for success for every single camper and counselor.
Consider Camp Twin Creeks for your child if you want summer camp to be part of their life, giving them the ability to discover more about themselves, more about others. That summer camp can be a part of their life as they grow up. This is somewhere where they look forward to coming each summer. Amy and I would love for your family to be a part of the Camp Twin Creeks family this summer and beyond.
Okay, I will put that link into the chat so that you can view it again. I just wanted to give you a view of a real camp that we love. And I went there and visited last summer, and it's exactly like that. I wanted to give you an idea of what the community looks like, what you could see them shifting from activity to activity. You could see the actual counselors showing the kids how to do activities. That is what we are looking to hire you for. We are looking for lifeguards, swim instructors, horse riding instructors, arts and crafts, ropes course, those people climbing those high things that are helping the kids up and down. Every sport you can think of is usually played at camp. Every water activity, you could see boating, kayaking, canoeing. It is impossible to list all of the different activities. But what we help you do is find your special skill and match it with a position at a camp. So we could go on and on about these, but we will help you during your interview, and we ask you to really focus in on those items when you are filling out your application. Where are the camps? Here you can see we've got a little map of the United States, and you can see some of the highlighted states where we have camps. We constantly get more and more requests for camps, a lot still in these states, mostly on the East Coast, for positions at camps. They are all looking for good people who want this experience. They love having international staff. It brings such an amazing part of cultural diversity for children in the United States as well as adults at the camps to learn about other cultures. It's not just about being here in the United States. The other part of this map, you will see there are June and July mentioned icons. Those are the dates that we really highlight in those states where we need people that are available. As much as we have, you know, all these different camps to work with, they all have a specific day of when they need someone to arrive. When you're at a camp, you go through a training and orientation, and everyone arrives at the same time before the children do. So it's a really specific deadline of when people need to arrive. And that's Tracey and I, that's our job. We match you based on your date of availability and your skills, okay? Tracey, are we good on, you want to do this one?
Yeah. So this is an example of what your typical daily schedule could look like at a camp. This is modeled after a sleepaway camp. So you're essentially, you're running a household. You are mom or dad or guardian of this group of children that you're living with. You are waking them up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you're getting them ready to show up for breakfast. So you're making sure that, you know, 8 or 10 kids are brushing their teeth and brushing their hair and remembering to put on deodorant. And then you're heading off to breakfast, and you come back and you might do a little cleanup before you head out to your activities. So usually you have 1 to 3 activities before lunch. This is a jam-packed schedule. There is not much downtime. Those kids are running, you're running after them, hopefully in the direction of an activity that you need to get to. In between activities, you're playing fun games and you're singing songs, and you learn all of these fun games and you learn all of these silly songs in your training before camp starts. That's why it's so important to get to camp before the kids get to camp. You have lunch, and then there's a little bit of break time typically at sleepaway camps. After the kids eat, they get to relax, write home, you get to relax, you can write letters as well. You have more afternoon activities, and then usually kids get cranky in the afternoon. They get little blood sugar. Their blood sugar is low, so they'll have a snack. It usually looks like an ice pop or a piece of fruit. And then you have another activity, and then you have more eating. And the afternoon kind of winds the kids down. You're usually doing free time, you're doing group activities. Typically you end up wrapping your day with campfires, songs. At the camp that I worked at, we always did milk and cookies was our tradition, and we would sit in our bunk, just me and my 8 kids, and it was called highs and lows. You'd share the best part of your day, and then you'd share something that might have been a little bit hard. And that's a really great way to create a family atmosphere, a caring atmosphere in your little, you know, camp family. Bedtime and lights out. Kids at this point are, for the most part, exhausted. If you've done your job all day long, bedtime is easy. You might have to help a kid out with a nightmare. You might have to help a kid out by reading them a story because they're homesick. But you'll know what to say to these kids. You might also find yourself homesick, and you're going to be able to help children out by expressing to them how you feel. Day camps are a little bit different, obviously a little shorter. This would also be the same model for a special needs camp. Probably a little slower paced, less activities, more time to transition between places. But yeah, you're working every day, all day. You are the one person these kids count on. Your time off is always very important and often comes up in the questions at the end of the session. Most camps honor a little downtime or break time during the day on a rotational basis. So in a cabin, there might be 2 bunks. One counselor will be in charge on day A, and counselor the other counselor gets to go have a break and you switch off. Same thing with a nighttime schedule. You're not working every single night. You'll likely get to leave as soon as your kids are settled in bed. You'll get to go to a staff lounge. You'll get to go find a quiet place on camp where you could access your phone, write emails, call home, wake someone up in the middle of the night. But that's where you'll have your reprieve and get to hang out with the people that you've met at camp, the other counselors and friends.
Okay, so and each camp, once you are interviewed by a camp and it looks like things are going well, of course, ask your questions. But what's really important is when they decide that they'd like to hire you, that they will disclose all of that information. What does their camp look like? What is their schedule like? These are all important questions that you want to ask at that time. We will always have some initial information about, the camp, how much you get paid, what does a day kind of look like, but they will give you your contract and everything that you need to know before you get there. We've shown you the video, but of course, these are some of the activities. I won't spend too much time doing this because I feel like we've kind of hit that already. And I really want to spend some time talking to you guys about your questions. What your camp wants you to be. So who are they looking for? They're looking for someone who's outgoing, who's a lot of fun, who's positive, who wants to be at their camp, doing all the things, playing with the kids, someone who's active. This is not a vacation for you to sit back and relax. You can do that when you're traveling or on your time off, but kids are active. They want to have fun. As you can see, your schedule is very busy. So if you're already a very active person, this is the great environment for you. Someone who's caring. Obviously, if you're working with children, you're not only active and fun and positive, but are you able to make friendships with these kids? Are you able to care for them and understand and want to be supportive to them? Are you a team player? No one does this by themselves. It is impossible. Okay, so are you able to work together in the community to support your co-counselors and everyone else who's at camp? Are you dedicated to the program? Are you there just for the travel opportunity? That's not who we're looking for. We're looking for people who really want to be in this community and this environment and will be there from day one to the last day. Trustworthy. So this is a big process. This is a big application. Working with children in the United States, usually people are like fingerprinted and really have a very big application in order to be like a teacher or work in a youth program or anything like that. So it's even more important that we as your sponsor go through a process with you to have a criminal background check, to have good interviews, to make sure we hire the right people for this program. If the camps trust us and we trust Bart and we trust you, it is, we're all working together to have the right people at the right place. Responsible, I think it goes along with everything else. It's not just about you being responsible for yourself, but obviously this is a really big job. But overall, if you just look at these things, these adjectives, we just want good people. We want good people who want to be here and be in the right environment, the right community, who want this amazing experience. And we're so excited to meet you and to interview you and find the best camp for you to work at. Okay, so qualifications. Everybody says, how do I get into this program? What do I need to do? What do I need to be? Okay, so you have to be, according to the Department of State, at least 18 years old. You have to have excellent English for this program, okay? And Bart and Anna and his team will help figure that out, but we will also do that with you during your interview. And then one of the following options: you can be a student at a university, you can be working in a youth program, and there are many different types. You can be a teacher, or you can have special skills. Anytime you hear special skills, that means any of those activities that you were looking at, that we showed in the video, that we've shown in pictures, that we've talked about? Do you know how to swim, and can you teach children? Do you know how to ride a horse? Do you know how to cook? Photography? Do you know how to do ceramics? The list is endless. So really try to know what you're good at, what your skills are, and we will help you find where you fit in best. Okay, so what's in it for you? Okay, Tracey, do you want to? I feel like I'm doing all the time. I like to go back and forth, so then no one's tired of hearing me.
So primarily the focus here is cultural exchange. We want, I think it's really great when a kid learns how to say please or thank you in another language. I think it's really great when kids learn that my kids used to get a kick out of the British participants saying, oh, let's get our torches. And they'd be like, what's a torch? Oh, it's a flashlight. Those unique things, those are the things that you bring to a child. And then, of course, they're sharing with you literally everything else. They're sharing with you the type of foods they like to eat at camp. They're sharing with you the type of music, activities, and things like that. Your housing, your meals, and your laundry is included as part of your participation in the program. So you get a stipend, or also known as pocket money, and that is your actual pay for participating. But housing and meals and laundry are covered for you while you're here. So you are not paying rent, you're not paying for electricity or water or to have your laundry done. And as long as you're working and as long as you're at camp, you have your meals taken care of. So you might think that your stipend isn't that great, but when you combine it with the cost of housing, meals, and laundry, it's wonderful. It's I'd love for someone to cook for me and do my laundry for 2 months. I would probably pay to have that done. The other thing that Alliance Abroad will give you is your 24/7 support. So if you feel you need to reach out to an external source for support, it could mean that you're emotionally struggling. It could mean that you are sick or physically unwell. Carmen and myself, we are here for you. Bart is here for you. And we will make sure you get taken care of. And this is a 24/7. We have people who share in the responsibilities of being our support net for you while you're here. And then obviously, one of the best perks for you is that after your contract and your program is finished, you have 30 days to travel inside the United States. We have some people that like to stay local to where their camps are, and we have other people who've decided they want to travel all over the place and take trains and planes and rent cars and hit all of the spots. And this is usually done with your closest friends that also have travel time after their program. So you're gonna come with a plan, and your plan is gonna change, and then it'll probably change again. And it doesn't matter where you go, you're gonna have a lot of fun. And then the other most important thing that you get out of this is you get career growth, and you get to practice your English. So your conversational English, I've heard other participants say that after a week, they already noticed a huge change in being able to have a conversation. And kids they will show you no mercy. You have no choice but to communicate with them. And then your career growth. This looks great on your resume, working with children, all of those things that your future camp employer is looking for you. Those are things that are impressive on a resume. Being a team player, working on communication skills, all of those things are really things that in the future set your resume apart from other applications in the workplace.
Yes. And so a lot of these things that we put here are just as we have 90% of our camps that are sleepaway. We also have the day camps and the special needs camps. So Each of the packages may look a little bit different. Right now, for a 9 to 10 week program, the stipend is about $2,000. Which is great considering you're getting housing, meals, and laundry. If you're working at a day camp, sometimes it's a little bit less because you're not working the 24/7. It's a different model. But as we talk to you and we get to know you and your skills and your strengths and the dates that you're available, we will help find the best options for you. Okay, so we're at the end. Yes. Okay, so this is phase one. So thank you for participating. We just want to tell you now, like, what the program is about. We want you to do your research. We want you to look at the camps. We want you to find out what other people say that have participated in a summer camp before. What do they say? Next is signing up with Bart in his office. Okay. If you haven't done that already, this is the time to do it because we have some of the best options for you now. And as other people, we interview people all over the world. And so we take the best of who's available at that time. So if you're like, hey, I really want to be a lifeguard, and we say, okay, well, you know, we've only got a few positions left. Like, you just got to take it while it's there. After you sign up with Bart, they will help you complete your profile in our portal. We ask you for a picture. We ask you for a video where you say, hi, my name is Carmen. I am 20 years old. And I live in Spain, and I love to read books, and I love ceramics, and I love music and dancing, and I've been working with children for the last 3 years, and it's a part of my career path. I'd love to work at camp because I really think that it will expand my knowledge of working with children and practice my English, and I'd love to be a part of the camp. That took like 30 seconds, right? You can do 1 to 2 minutes. What's important is that they get to see you. They get to see your personality. We see it. The camp sees it. It's almost like your commercial. It's like they'll watch it and they'll get a good feeling for you, and they'll know more about you. So we need a video in your application. No music needed. No fancy editing. Like just you and the camera. We also need a few documents. We need your passport, and we need a background check. And Bart's team will help you with all of those things. It's not anything you need to worry about right now. But so what's next? The first thing you would do after this presentation is to email Bart, and he will give you the address, the email address in the chat, and he'll also talk to you about it next. But I am going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop talking. Questions. What questions do you have? You can put them in the chat box, and Bart will help us go through them.
So I just put the email address of the Alliance Abroad Central Europe office, and it's programs@allianceabroad.eu. So whenever you'll be ready to apply, you can just send us an email, or you could text us on WhatsApp, on Instagram, or Facebook. All the channels are open for you guys. So any questions, anyone? If you have any questions, please just type it in the chat. It's programs@allianceabroad.eu. Tamara is asking about the email address. Here you go. Anyone else? Anything?
There are no silly questions. We find that once 1 or 2 people ask a question, they kind of keep rolling in. So even if you think it's something little, something silly, someone yesterday asked about what kind of desserts do they eat at camp?
All right, let me ask the question. What kind of desserts do they eat at the camp?
The big traditional one is the s'mores. And if you don't know what a s'mores is, it's like a not too sweet cookie biscuit. And then you take a marshmallow and you roast it over a fire until it gets all melty. And then you take a piece of chocolate and you smush it and you it gets all gooey and sticky and the kids get covered in it, and it's equal parts fun and delicious and miserable. The kids aren't miserable. You're miserable because then you have to make them brush their teeth and wash their face.
Yeah, campfires are a lot of fun. It's like one of the last things that usually happens in the evening. It's a nice community event. And so like the kids will all take turns around the fire with a marshmallow on the end of a stick, and then they're roasted over the open fire, and it's fun. It's a nice tradition.
Does anybody know what their special skills are? Maybe you could type what your special skill is in the chat. Cooking. Do you cook with, have you ever cooked with children? Very good.
Yeah, Carolina is asking the same thing. Cooking is a special skill.
Yes, cooking.
We've got two cooks.
I actually at camp, my third summer at camp, I was the creative kitchen specialist. Of course, the kids, and as a specialist, it's really interesting. As a counselor, you work with one age group. You become very focused on that one age group. But as a program specialist, you get to work with the little kids, the older kids, the boys, the girls. You get to work with everybody, which is very interesting because each group is so very different. And I spent a lot of time teaching them how to make cookies or pancakes. Lots of interesting little short things. But yes, cooking definitely is a special skill.
Rudy says he's a dance instructor specialized in Bollywood and Zumba. That's pretty
wonderful.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That is a cultural exchange extravaganza.
Sounds like a masterclass. So yes, performing arts, all of those things. So not every camp has a culinary arts program, right? So that's why it's really important that we find out your skills, and maybe you have 2 skills or 3 skills, but all of those things that you bring with you, or that you talk about with the camp, like I'm good at this and I'm really good at this, and I've been practicing for this long, and this is a part of what my family does. Like think about traditions, all of those things.
Carmen, this week I had a few inquiries, questions from students studying medicine or from nursing. So do we have anything, like in terms of camp program that we could,
special
offer?
needs. Special needs would be amazing for them. They are looking for people who want to practice in that field, who understand about taking care of people and helping in that situation. So they may not be a nurse because they wouldn't be licensed here in the United States. However, special needs camp is like the perfect opportunity for smaller group, or 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 ratio, where there's a counselor and maybe 1 or 2 other people. That would be amazing opportunity. Those camps have the highest need right now.
Right, that's cool.
Yes.
Guys, any more questions, anyone?
Hi, I'm on the call. I'll be right out.
Put this in my suitcase.
My kids just got home from school.
There's a camp kit.
Time for campers.
Just a small example.
Just a small example. But it doesn't mean you're like a parent, but you just, it's part of, just having fun and wanting to be around kids and taking care of, their everyday needs. You're becoming like their buddy. So, they're not infants where you have to like do all the things for them. Like they're self-sufficient, they're away from home, but they'll remember you forever.
you know what? I have one more questions.
Yeah.
I mean, like nobody asked it before here, and I'm not sure if you mentioned about it during the presentation. How long does the program takes? I mean, like, is it like 9 weeks?
Question.
Yeah.
Great question. So, and you'll see the camps will say, oh, our sessions run around 8 weeks, 9 weeks, but then there's also a 1 to 2 week training period. So you could be away at a camp for anywhere from like 10 to 12 weeks. It just depends on the camp. But from the moment that you come into the United States, you arrive in the airport, they pick you up at the airport, bring you to the camp. You start your training session with all the other counselors and staff, and then the kids come usually sometimes a week later, sometimes 8, 9 days. All of that information you'll have, but that's a great question.
What is the earliest and the latest start date for the camp program?
The earliest that I have right now, I believe, is May 19th for some camps here in Texas. And then the latest date that I have so far, and it has a later start date of like somewhere in June. The latest, I believe, is August 26th. So camps
August
usually
26th?
do,
Wow.
yes, camps usually do not
That's pretty cool.
go past August. It's unusual. Maybe 1 or 2 of them look for staff to work through, like we have Labor Day weekend, which is like the first weekend in September. But all of those things we will have specific details on. So when a camp signs up with us, we say, okay, when do you need your staff? What day do they arrive and what day do they leave? And those are the same things that we ask for participants who are applying. What day can you arrive and what day do you have to go home? And that's all really important information.
All right, I don't see any questions. So I'm thinking that if anyone wants to ask me a question, even if it's not in English, but maybe in Polish or in Russian, then just go ahead and email us to programs@alliancebro.eu, and I'll be happy to get back to you. And also, we'll be sharing the video link to that presentation, so we can just watch it once again. Maybe you will come up with some questions. And yeah, and I just wanted to thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Tracey, for joining us tonight, on Friday night. So thank you.
Yes, we love doing this, and I know it's a lot of information, but I hope that it gave you some good information and a kind of reality on the other side. I'm also going to leave the video that I showed for Camp Twin Creeks so that you can watch it on your own. But I highly suggest that if you are interested in working at a summer camp, that you Google summer camps in the United States. Look at a state that you want to go to if you like, and then just start there and watch the videos. Look at the staff highlights. What kind of people do they hire? What kind of things do they do at camp? Like that is all of your information right there.
And someone just dropped another question in the Q&A.
Oh, okay.
Is the $2,000 stipend for 12 weeks or on a monthly basis? So that stipend is it's for your contract of employment with the camp. So it's from the day that you get picked up until the day that you leave. And then payment structure wise, a lot of these camps will pay you, I would probably say about 95% of these camps will pay you once or maybe twice for the season. And they do this for many reasons. They don't want you being responsible for a lot of money while you're at camp. While you're on camp, there's really no reason. You don't have to buy your food. You don't have to buy a coffee. You don't have to, do anything. If you have a day off and you want money, you need to make sure that you are definitely traveling with a credit card that has available balance or a bank card that has available balance. And you will get paid in those 2 lump sums or however that camp works out your payment schedule. And so the one reason, like I said, is for safety. You don't want to lose your money. They can't replace money if you lose it. You don't want someone, you don't want to lose your money. And then the other reason is that this this job is hard. And so they will pay you at the end as an incentive for you to stay. And like Carmen said, this is probably the hardest thing you're going to do in your 19, 20, some of you might be 21 or 22 years, but it's addicting and it is life-changing. I was a student at university. I was in a awful relationship and I ran away to camp. I ran away to work at camp and make almost no money. But the things that I gained from my experiences at camp have 100% affected who I have become. They have helped to shape me into the parent that I am. I am the member of the community I live in a lot of because of what I learned at camp. So this is just the most incredible experience you're going to have in your life. And I'm not going to say that there weren't days that I wanted to quit, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. And I stayed for many years. So, you're going to keep wanting to do this to yourself.
Definitely worth doing. Yes. And yes. And we're being bluntly honest, right? We're giving you a little bit of personal experience. We're a little bit older than you guys, right? But we just had an info session with our Spain office yesterday, and we had 2 of our participants talk, and they could not stop saying about what a great time they had and their friends and how they traveled, and they're going back again this summer, and then they see the same people. So we hope to get to interview you, and we won't hold you up any longer, but
let me just add something at the end. This is the last info session about the Camp Counselor program before the Christmas and before the New Year's. So I wanted to wish you all the best family Christmas ever, the great New Year's. And because of that, we also have like a promotional price going on right now. So usually the camp program application fee is $199, but because of that special time of the year, we are dropping it to $100. So if you will sign up before the end of the year, you can just use that special pricing. So Merry Christmas.
Look at you. So nice. Okay, so we will let you guys go. Please email Bart and his team with any questions. Again, you can access the chat, copy anything that's in there. And we can't wait to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Bart.